Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Like I said, we would be continuing on with the next Pillars of Eternity game, and we are going to be making a new watcher purely because I couldn't actually import my old character, and I really just wanted to make a new character. But first things first, let's go through the game. So this one, there's actually a turn-based mode. We will not be playing on that. I'm probably going to play through the game at least a couple of times, because I really do enjoy this, the Pillars of Eternity series. But we're going to be playing on the classic, real-time with pause. So let's continue. Now, as you can see, this little thing wouldn't be here if this was my first game, nor would this. But I have played this. I have got a campaign where I'm about 8 hours in. Most of that is fucking about. These are just bonuses that, honestly, I wouldn't use in an actual Let's Play, because obviously, to me, that's something I can do when I'm pissing about. But let's start the game. I've not actually watched the intro because I wanted to save it so I could watch it with you guys. So I have skipped a few things just so I can try and keep them for so I can keep some of the things fresh. But let's start the game.
Aora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
Made a nice story. You fixing up that old keep, lifting the curse. Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. That maybe the gods weren't finished with us. My God came back. He would forgive us. Last the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later.
so you wake to a sleepless world, the in-between of life and death. Follow your memories. You have been here before.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
A watcher sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage. You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved, merry gourd, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm just going to quickly apologize for a little bit of cutting in the intro. I don't know why that is. I put this on my SSD to try and get away from that, but I guess it's some things are unavoidable sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. The game runs really well. It's just, for some reason, the movies in this game seem to run not the best, but it seems to be, it's only a few videos, so we should be fine. Everything else runs perfectly as far as I know.
Sit, please. Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in. A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She is preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
So, these are all... Basically, when you start this game, you have to choose a history, obviously, because it is linked to the first pillars. There's a Benevolent Soul, which is the... I'm probably just going to read all these and then we're going to import our save. So in Pillars of Eternity, you returned the lost Hollowborn souls to the Deerwood's children, as you had pledged to Halia. You were kind and merciful to people you encountered, sympathetic to their pain, and charitable to those who needed help. You got fair and balanced. In Pillars of Eternity, you returned the lost Hollowborn souls to the Wheel, as you had pledged to Bereth. Most other choices were judicious and balanced, tempered by rational thought and fairness, rather than sympathy or emotion. We've got Survival of the Fittest. Now, I must admit, this is one of the ones I had a personal game on. I got rid of it because it was just a tester, but in Pillars of Eternity, you use the Souls of the Hollowborn to strengthen the Deerwood, as you had pledged to Galawain, which we did. Most other choices were made to strengthen you and your allies while punishing and weakening your enemies. So we're actually quite close to this in our own choices, but Dark Times. In Pillars of Eternity, you consigned the Souls of the Hollowborn to oblivion, as you had pledged to Rimgrand. You left a wake of physical destruction, spiritual annihilation wherever you went, seeking to bring a final end to all things. Keeper of Secrets. You pledged to consign the souls of the Hollowborn to oblivion, as Rimgard requested, but you ultimately gave the souls to Waydeka. You supported maintaining the god's secret as well as your own. And then everything bad. You did everything wrong. You pledged to do the bidding of every god, then scattered the souls of the Hollowborn to a random location. You got every companion killed. You got the worst outcome for every quest. If there is a mistake you could have made while still resolving the Hollowborn crisis, you made it. So it's not suggested for new players because you do not have companions. And there's the random one I made, which is basically basically what we did, but then I randomized everything else. But we're going to just import the save of Alduin. There we go.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Yes.
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Barra. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge. The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction. The gods offered you boons in exchange for resolving the Hollowborn crisis. What did you do with the souls?
I strengthened the souls of the Deerwood.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
I spoke with other gods in the halls of stars and pledged myself to them.
You did.
She places a card on the table, showing a tall tower with the gods' constellations arrayed around it in the sky. She places a card in the middle of the arrangement, a bell tower with no bell. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Odnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothis. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are. Though Aothis stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Atra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him.
Now, it has been 5 years, ladies and gentlemen. I am just going to say we're not playing Alduin. We're not playing Alduin now, so we're playing an entirely new character who just happened to do the same things Alduin did and has become a little bit grisly in comparison. Not bad, but just grisly, should we say. So why don't you just do it yourself?
Taking a physical form in Aora is fraught with peril. Most mortal minds and bodies are incapable of containing divine power. It can lead to problems, as Aothis learned not long ago.
Her armored hand gingerly places a card sideways on the table. It features a man with a burst of light instead of a head.
Well, I'd like to find him as much as you would. He destroyed my castle and killed who knows how many people around it.
I know. It is my business to know. 322 in Cadnua and your surrounding lands. Their souls remain in Aothis still. You have the power to save them. Serve me and I will return you to your body. Or don't, and return to the wheel.
Now, I could show you an extremely funny thing where I will actually just tell you, if you press I'll take the wheel, the game will end and you will get an end screen. I'm not gonna lie, that is how I got through the first my first little go in this. I was like, nope, I'm leaving. I did not expect them to just be like, right, fine. You decided to leave. Congratulations, you officially have finished your first playthrough. Anyway, what we're gonna go with, let's get on with it.
Good. Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were. The last whisper of life in death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind. to the world of mortals.
Now, I have already created 3 separate characters that I'm thinking of using. So let's go to look at the import. So I have created Ingrid, who is a herald, who is a can I look at him? Yeah, so he's got a so basically he's a I'm trying to remember which stat does what now. Oh fuck, I actually don't remember. So the first one's might, the second one's constitution, because that one's constitution, because that's intelligence, that's perception, and that's resolve. So all 3 characters have 18 resolve. So we have a herald, a templar, and a crusader. These are all multi-classes. So all 3 are paladins, because I really said I wanted to play a paladin. So the first one's a I think this is a chanter paladin. It's a chanter. So we could be this is like the buffing class. We have the Templar, which is another buffing class, but a little bit more of a deadly priest. It's more of a damaging priest than a buffing class. Now this is the weakest in terms of constitution. Then we have the Crusader, which is the fighter paladin, which honestly is really fun to play as a every class I've played so far has been a paladin in some form, but a paladin fighter seems very it doesn't actually seem boring in that sense. It seems just very powerful. But I mean, I must admit, I did want to do the this is the only paladin we have who is not a directly, I wouldn't say it's not evil, but it's this character has the subclass where is it? Should say yeah. This is the Shield Bearers of Saint Elka subclass, where we gain Lay on Hand, but Lay on Hand prevents death when they cast on allies, and plus when equipped with a shield, +1 engagement. I mean, this seems pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Then we have like the priest abilities, and we have a specific set of priest abilities we get until level 7, because we can't unlock 8 or 9. That's just something to do with the multi-classing. Whereas a priest, we got a good number of buff abilities, and like the best of buff abilities really get down to here. Oh yeah, I should also say, I think I said what type of priest we are. We are a priest of Berith. So we're a priest of the god of death, doors, and the wheel. So you get specific ability. These are ones you get specifically. So we get refused armor, salvation of time, divine terror, stuff like that. Whereas if we're a chanter, we obviously pick our own chants. So I picked a buff chant and a raw damage chant. They're not buff chant. I summon chant and a raw damage chant. And the Crusader is basically pure, obviously pure art, pure death. And this one is a black jacket, which gets an extra set of weapon proficiency, and but constant recovery is less effective. So it's a very weird thing. Like, I don't know who I want to play as, because I'm going to be playing as these guys for a long ass time. So it's between Ingrid, Orsic, and Sigram. I'm thinking between Templar and. The thing is, I can't show. I can actually import them, and then I can show you their stuff. So this is Orsic. So this is basically what he looks like. He's got a sword, large shield. He's proficient with a sword, large shield, and great sword. He's a mercenary from the Iximital Plains, and he's obviously and the rest of it I already know. All 3 are human. So let's just quickly we import another character. We can import Ingrid. He uses a spear and a large shield. Again. Mercenary from the Iximital Plain. The last one. Let's have a look at him quickly. He is a Templar, Orsic. He uses a sword and a large shield. And he has, obviously, like I said, he's a Paladin male. There we go. That's his stats. I must admit, I'm actually really can't decide on who I want to play as now. I've been having this problem for the last couple of days, because that's why I started like a solo campaign, because I couldn't decide. So the only problem I have is how low my health is here. You know what? Just for that, we're going to play the Crusader, ladies and gentlemen. It's safe, but I'm going to be doing other campaigns of this eventually. We're going to play a Sigram. So we got more choice of weapons and whatnot. I think colors are the only thing I didn't sort out, so I'm gonna go for a nice dark purple. We'll go for this purple, and we'll go for a grey, purple and grey for now. Everything else I've already set up for him, and his name is Sigram. So we get 3 weapons, and these I'll talk about later because they're a bit different. Flames of Devotion because we're a Bleak Walker. Bleak Walker is the kind of sadist evil. They're basically the dicks of all the paladins, but...
Go forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you. To open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world. Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you. The darkness lingers there, but the pain abates and fades entirely within the span of a few seconds.
A chime. Do not fear, Herald. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me. I trust it will not come to that.
Her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf, hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
Right, I'm feeling pretty happy with our choice in character now. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen, I would have enjoyed all 3 classes. Because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't actually played a single class in this now since multi-classing was introduced. Every little test I've done has been a multi-class because versatility is way more fun than high-level spells, and especially as a paladin. Paladins seem to be the best multi-classes from what I've read, which has been too much. Now, so as we can see right here, we can see someone we might recognize. Let's see if we can talk to him. Goosebump bribe on Adir's arms as you at your approach, but he seems unaware of your presence. You sense the steward's spirit in the bust, but she is unaware of you. Let's return to our body then.
The return to your body feels like waking after a fitful drunken sleep. The rocking of the ship sends pain jolting through your limbs. Crashing waves hammer inside your skull. Adir watches over your body with a glazed look, taking long, even tokes from his pipe. At the first movement of your chest, he starts. His gasp, mid-puff, sends him coughing and straining for breath.
No, there's no way. You're awake. What are you doing awake? How are you feeling?
Who are you?
Me? You don't remember?
Adir points at his face, which he seems to be arranging into his most recognizable expression. Receiving no response, he shrugs.
I'm the captain of this boat. And I was real big back in Deerwood. Had this keep called Cadnua. I was famous. And I was what you'd call a watcher. I'd go around talking to dead folks and creeping out just about everyone who saw.
He holds up his hands with fingers curled to mimic claws.
You're just some farmer. Likes to follow me around. Take most of the beating for me when we get attacked. Don't worry, it'll all come back.
Very funny.
Ah, see? You remember. Anyway, you didn't answer my question. How you feeling?
Alive.
Alive's a big improvement.
I hate to cast a pall over your recovery, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
The voice echoes from inside the bust. The remains of the steward of Cadnua.
Cadnua has been destroyed. Aethys possessed the statue of Maros Nua and rose from the ground, consuming the souls of all nearby. It is only by the exceptional strength of your soul that you survived. and even then, just barely. The further Aethys withdrew, the weaker you became. We chartered this ship and followed him to the Deadfire Archipelago. I know not how, but it seems he has retained a piece of your soul, and proximity to it has brought you back.
I know.
How could you know all that? You've been faking on us.
He pokes at your shoulder with one finger.
Misfortune's brewing topside. Magrants fires the captain stirs.
An older man with ale-sour breath rubs his bloodshot eyes and stares at you.
Engrim, the smell of drink on your breath could wake the very dead. Now what's this about?
Pirates. They're demanding parley with you, Captain.
I know this is asking a lot, but you better arm yourself and get on deck. Should be some gear in there.
He indicates a nearby wardrobe.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a perfect place to end the first part of the Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire Let's Play. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys are going to be okay with what character I've picked. To me, it was a very hard choice. Like, I wanted to play all three, and we will probably have we'll probably have the other two characters throughout the Let's Play, because I could just remake them as side characters if need be. But I hope like I said, if you guys have enjoyed, please feel free to follow, comment, tell me what you guys are thinking we should do while we're having a little bit of fun. Please do just no spoilers. Just keep it a spoiler-free zone for as long as you can. And see you guys next part. See you guys then.